Looks like Megatron's plastic surgery didn't go all that well. Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back for another Transformers action figure review. We're going to be reviewing the Transformers Studio Series Voyager Class Revenge of the Fallen Megatron Battle Damaged version. So anyway, this is my... I didn't realize that I had not reviewed a single Michael Bay former on this channel, so here we are. Anyway, let's just get right on into the review by starting with the packaging. And what better way to start with the Michael Bay Transformers, with one of the most iconic characters from the movies. Here we have Megatron in the CGI render with the battle-damaged head. It says Battle Damaged, Studio Series, Revenge of the Fallen, Megatron, Transformers, Generations, the card Tommy, Revenge of the Fallen. Here on the side, you got the nice image of Megatron. Authentic Transformers! Here on the back of the box, obligatory product shots and all that kind of stuff, and showing off some other figures from these waves. I do have Bone Crusher, might try to review that guy at some point. Megatron with a nice mugshot there, he's number 31, and it says he's a Voyager class. That is mostly it for the packaging. And here is Megatron on that cardboard backdrop, and it just kind of opens up to more display options. Other than that cardboard backdrop, sadly, there are no accessories included with this figure. But thankfully, he has a lot of bells and whistles that really make him shine all that much more. Now, just FYI, I do have the original Voyager class Revenge of the Fallen Megatron, and I'm not going to be reviewing this guy separately because I'd basically just be repeating everything that I just say in this video, but I will be mentioning this guy a lot throughout this video. Of most of the designs that came out of the Michael Bay movies, I kind of prefer this guy over most of the Transformers that appeared in those films. But specifically what I'm trying to get across is that this is my favorite Megatron design from the live-action films, even more so than the Last Knight and that Galvatron. Because due to those Michael Bay Transformers designs, it opens up the amount of mechanical detailing is through the roof, and it's all present here on both of the figures. But what sets apart the original release of the figure over the other one is that this one has a huge lack of paint, and it has a lot of this plain gray, like, just molded plastic on there. Which is where this figure really delivers. Instead of that matte, flat, gray color, it has this dark, dry brushing wash going all over with silver paint going all over the figure. The most unique thing about this figure is its battle-damaged, cracked-up head design, and I like how he's got that big red beady eye really poking out of his head right there. And again, they have... unlike that other figure, it's done in metallic paint, but they also have this dark wash going over the face where it looks like perfectly charred plastic, like he just got hit with a laser blast to the face, which he did. And that painting and mechanical detailing is present throughout the whole figure. Again, nice bits of bronze also throughout the whole figure to really pick out a lot of the details. And the mechanical detailing is really spot on. But again, this is where the figure really shines out of most of it, because this figure does not come with any accessories. Thankfully, because this guy does not come with any accessories, it does open up the opportunity for him to have some other cool features on him. Like, for example, he has these little back thrusters right there, so you can get some nice aerial poses. We'll go over the articulation, but he does have these little posable little guns right here on his back. And then we come to his fusion cannon arm, which again, very expertly mechanically sculpted and, painted and everything. And it looks very, very nice, but also, you can kind of see it poking out right here. He has this little blade that will poke out, and this is famously the blade that impaled Optimus Prime in the movie. And again, the bronze paint really brings out the sword on this figure, and I love the way how it looks, especially when getting this guy into some sword poses. And the posability is also pretty nice, too. Someone get this Megatron a sandwich. Yeah, this was present on the original Megatron figure, and this was something that some people had complained about, is that this figure is quite hollow. This hollow engineering aspect is something that I've also seen on other Hasbro products, such as the Transformers Legacy Bulkhead from recently and the Transformers Earthrise Hoist. Both of these figures, as you can see, had a lot of big hollow gaps, but in doing so, and those gaps get covered up, it makes the figure look and feel more bulky and substantial than it actually is. Only, unlike Megatron, these figures actually can cover up their gappy areas, and so again, that's what makes these figures seem so much more substantial than they actually are. Only in the case of Megatron here, it makes him more like a smaller leader class size, or I guess what the leader class size is of nowadays. But anyway, getting into his articulation, he has a ball joint at the head and a hinge joint at the base of the neck, which allows for his head to look down that far. He can look up very far, allows him to look all over the dang place. Both of his shoulders can rotate a full 360, again, moving little gun turrets right there on his back. If you untab this piece, you can get some butterfly joint forward movement. Bicep swivel, 90 degrees, well, actually way over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, but the gun arm bends just a tiny bit more down. These claw hands can hinge on 2 independent hinge joints, but I barely even pose them at all. And due to his hollowness and this all being one solid piece, no waist swivel, but it's nice to get all that mechanical detailing without breaking the sculpt of a waist swivel. Hips can kick forward that far, they can kick back that far, they can move outward that far. He does get a nice thigh swivel, and then he has a bend right here at the knee and a bend right here at the knee, so he has those, weird chicken legs. He also has a little hinge joint at these little calf panels. Be careful, these do tend to pop off quite easily. He does get some nice ankle pivot, and then these little bits can shift around. And for some comparisons, again, here is Megatron compared next to the original Revenge of the Fallen Megatron. And again, I prefer this figure because he has that more metallic, shiny sheen to him, where this guy has that very plain kind of toy look. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, for me personally, I just like seeing shiny paint on Transformers because it makes them feel that much, it makes them look and feel that much more high quality. And it just, is just eye candy to me. And then here is Megatron next to my last Transformers review, the Transformers Studio Series 86 Perceptor. So that's it for the comparisons. And now I'll just quickly transform this.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Oh crap. And here is Megatron in his tank mode, his Cybertronian tank mode. And again, the painting and the sculpting carries over very, very much into this mode very well. And I like the way how this came out. Again, nice, grimy looking dry brushing, and bits of orange now come across as bits of rust on this tank, which makes sense considering Megatron was underwater for so long in that movie, kind of showing off a little bit of his age and his battle damage, but also getting the point across that he's now a big, chunky tank. And I like the barrel right here. It looks a little bit too stocky, but I think it still gets the point across. And again, the treads look nice. And I guess all those amazing mechanical components carry over just a little too much. Maybe have him looking down like this, and then have him covering up his face. That looks a little better. And as you could see, this tank mode isn't completely solid. These bits right here do tend to untab a little bit too easily. Would have liked for these little tread areas to tab in just that little bit better. But also, as you guys saw throughout the transformation, a lot of bits come falling off of the figure as I'm transforming it, because again, I feel like some of them weren't just on there a little too tight. And yeah, that was even an issue on the original figure, because as you can see, it was so much of an issue, I can't even find that calf panel. Just getting into the comparisons, even though both of the tanks have the same amount of issues and the same amount of sculpting and everything, I still prefer this one more, because, again, I feel like the painting really comes across a lot better on this figure, giving it that just a sense of realism since it's being based on a live-action film. It looks like a CGI model from that movie that was just taken out and put onto my review station here. Let's face it, this tank is not that great, and that joke was terrible. Get it? Face? Because he has a face on the front of the tank. And then here's the Transformers, here's the Studio Series Megatron next to the Studio Series 86 Perceptors tank mode. And yeah, this is a lame excuse for a tank mode. This looks more like a tank than this does. And that is basically it for my review on the Transformers Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Megatron Battle Damaged version. And yeah, also, FYI, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, this figure was a Target exclusive, so it was kind of hard to get. And I didn't end up buying it when I saw it, and I highly regretted not picking it up. And I can safely say that I really am happy that I managed to get this guy, even after missing out on him. This figure basically takes the already amazing mold of the Revenge of the Fallen Voyager-class Megatron and amplifies it with that amazing paint scheme. The paint scheme just makes it really shine and really pop on the shelf and looks a lot more better than the original version. So the original version looks more matted and more, like, toyetic looking, where this one looks more like a premium finish product. Not those premium finish figures, those overpriced pieces of shit. This figure sets out to be just a better looking and affordable looking figure with very nice paint. It's just a shame that it was a Target exclusive and kind of hard to get. But yeah, I do highly suggest this figure for anyone if you're able to pick him up. I hope you guys enjoyed this first of my Michael Bay Transformers reviews on this channel. I find it weird I hadn't reviewed one yet, even though I have a whole bunch of them in my collection. But anyway, that's basically it for this review. If I had to give this figure a rating, I give him a solid 9 out of 10. He just has those tiny little nitpicks that I don't like, and I would have liked maybe some extra accessories, but that's alright. So that's basically it for this review. Thank you all for watching. This has been Briximus Prime, and I'll catch you guys next time.